and how I can tell someone's going to be successful and likely not going to be successful. But they will share this personality trait where I will say, okay, so what do you want to do? Oh, well, I just know I don't want to work for anybody. I want to work for myself. I don't want to have to like clock in and clock out. But, at the same time, I don't know what I want to do it in though, but I just know I don't want to work for anybody. Anyways, here's what I was just talking about when I said to you, everyone is listening, but nobody's thinking. Okay? Everyone is in this giant echo chamber that is really, really annoying to me. Okay? It's really annoying. I'm getting very annoyed by it. Why? Because I will see somebody put an opinion online, and then somebody else just goes and they pick up that opinion and they're like, yeah, that applies to me. I need to listen to it. And that's why I say people online, when they are putting stuff out, a lot of this is strategic and manufactured to be able to funnel you somewhere. What happens though is sometimes you don't funnel towards them, but now this has become a funnel in your mind and you believe one way. I'll give you some examples, okay? With the industry constantly going for Forex or stocks, recently a lot of the big influencers started changing to futures, which was confusing me. I'm like, why are we changing to futures? I mean, not that we think alike, but it was just a confusing thing. I didn't mind it. I didn't care, but people were doing it. And so recently I've been talking to people and I'll be like, so what do you trade options? Is it Forex? And they're like, oh yeah, I'm trying to get into futures. I'm like, oh, okay. So why are you trying to get into futures? And they're like, and it's this awkward, like silent smile of like, they're racking their brain and they don't even know why they're doing it, but everyone else is doing it. So they're thinking, if the people that are successful are making this move, maybe I should make this move. But you didn't even find success in the other thing. So why are you trying to switch? So that to me, very confusing, right? The next one is I was having a conversation. This has actually come up multiple times in conversations with different people that share the same personality traits, which I would tell you in a second, the personality traits that they are sharing that I can tell when I meet this individual and how I can tell someone's going to be successful and likely not going to be successful. But they will share this personality trait where I will say, okay, so what do you want to do? Oh, well, I just know I don't want to work for anybody. I want to work for myself. I don't want to have to like clock in and clock out. But, at the same time, I don't know what I want to do it in though, but I just know I don't want to work for anybody. Let me break a false narrative that has been pushed online. Two things. Number one, online, people hate on 9-to-5s. Don't know why they do it, but they do. They hate on 9-to-5s and they push the idea that you shouldn't work for people, but then they themselves are running a business in which people are working for them. And that has always confused me because I'm like, so what does your staff think when they're engaging with your content and hearing how you're actively telling people not to work for somebody, yet they clock in and clock out for you? To me, I don't like it. I don't think it makes sense. Like, whatever. The second thing, and this is what I always tell people, you will always have to work for somebody. You will always have to work for somebody. Okay? As a business owner, because that's what they mean. Like, they want to run their own thing. Like, they don't want to work for anyone. They don't want to have to clock in. Okay, so you want a life where you're undisciplined. That's the first thing I hear when you say that. You don't want to be set to a structure that makes sense. So, because of that, you want a life that is undisciplined. Now, maybe that's not your intention, but that's what's communicated when higher level people are interacting with you and you say that. The second thing, as a business owner, if you are hoping to run a business or operate something on your own form of self-employment, you will always be working for somebody. Number one, you will be working for your staff. The people that work for you are working for you with the idea in mind that you will drive the company forward to keep a roof over their heads. If you cannot do that, you have failed. So every time that you're working, you're not working for you. You're working for you and your 10, 12, 20 staff. At the company currently, we're pushing past 20 people. And that is stressful on my mind because this has to work. Because if not, I have to break some news to 20 people, and that's small. I know corporations letting go of thousands of individuals. Then, after you're working for your staff, guess who else you're working for? Your customers. You are working for the very people that you need to run the business. And if you don't do a good job at working for them, you will have no money to work for the people you need to pay and even yourself. So let's put our heads on a swivel that makes sense. Let's lock back in, because when you get into this mindset of I don't want to work for anybody, it's a very selfish mindset, because life in itself, if worth doing well, is about stewardship. So stop feeding into those narratives. The people, they're telling you this because they want to sell you on their form of freedom, which is going to be real estate for some people, stocks for someone else, e-commerce, whatever it is. They want to sell you on something, okay? So here's the thing that I want you to understand. Long-term thinking is going to be something that you are going to have to adopt if you want to find success. So I want you to ask yourself this question: where do you see yourself in 5 years? Okay? This was the correct slide, and I'm just not realizing that, but that's cool. Because when I say most people don't want to work for anyone, then they say, but I don't know what to do. The problem is you haven't developed a spirit of stewardship because you're so used to selfishness, and the world is feeding you on that selfishness. And every time you open up an app, it's feeding you on what you're interested in. And if your interest is for selfish pleasure, then you very well will never be able to adopt selflessness to understand what your gift is to give back to people. What is the blessing that has been instilled in you? What is it that God has asked you to do? Like, what is it? What is your purpose? You don't know. You just know you want nobody else to help you go there. And that's not a team player. So I want you to ask yourself that question. Where do you see yourself in 5 years? Because if you do not know what you stand for, then ultimately you will stand for nothing.